don't you know? And now let's loop the shorts and reels. It's very hard to expect that anyone else but you is the creator, the creative in the partnership. So, seeing this up against a lunar event of which we did not create, and we will never be that magnificent. That the creative might need to think always that you do not have to be the creator of everything. The color, the branding, the promotion, the words on the page, and the full intention, the face of the actual, embodiment. And, they just want to comment about your eyebrows or something. And it just, your whole day just go, you know, it just becomes like this, what in my world, what's called a flaccid reality. You're just like, you got to be kidding me. I'm on top of the world right now. I am so there with it for me. And what happens, that one badass in your life, and how much they don't care, and how you have to make it be where you don't care either. So that was yesterday. Today, it's more, I thought that we would make sure that this goes beyond having a task list or a bullet list of all the things that we have to do. But it has to do with making sure that you stay on it for you. Hello, my crazies. How is everybody doing? Let's give ourselves a thumbs up, everyone. And welcome back, YouTube. Crazy. Never thought I would do it. But this is so worth it. Truly is. It is so well worth it for me to come back on and share what I'm learning and share about what I am doing these days. So let me clean up my window a little bit and welcome you to Hazelcroft Littles on Etsy with Beauty Bubble. Or it'll be something like that. I don't know exactly. And today we're going to walk through a new feature over at StreamYard. You can have any one little thing come in your way of taking that next step. It is so odd, especially for creatives, that I know that you thought in the back of your mind, wow, what if this was to really work for me? How different my life would be if this was really to manifest itself into something that the CEO spoke of many years ago. And that is being able to earn an income to feed and fuel your family. And the amount of joy that comes out of that from the creative, that they are actually able to do that as if it's some sort of a surprise. This is not a great morning to have. And I do believe that a CEO that comes from some sort of inner strength and experience in their life deserves um, at least acknowledgement and understanding. This is how I feel about it. So that's the reality here. This is, no matter what your shop is doing today, being that it is a publicly traded company, you want the stock to be healthy. You want to be able to see this trough of horror figure its way out. Maybe it does have to go to these superior lows that is sub 40 before we see a flattening and then a rise back up. You do not want to see this stock return to pre pandemic levels that are sub $10. You do not want that to happen. And yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. And for you, we were in Noodle Nirvana today, people. All right, so see that energy? I have to keep that energy up for an hour. That's not happening. I'm going to try to stay in the nirvana. And today's motivational moment might be inspired by that. Let's stay in the nirvana as long as we can. Welcome to YouTube. We are streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and my homies over at X. Thank you guys so much. You show up. I love it. I have no idea how all those wheels work, but you do show up and give us some love and numbers. I so much appreciate it. I need to come up with some different ways of sending out the loves, because saying thank you when you're doing this is just not enough. Were you guys aware of that at all? These thank you, oh, thank you, I appreciate you. Oh, you're doing such, the work on the back end. All this. That's crazy. It's not enough. I know it's not enough because if you don't feel something when you stop the scroll, from what I understand, I am not doing the job that I know that I could do if I had the tools to do it. And we're talking about internal tools. If I had the core to do this, some people say you just have to keep doing it. And there's nothing wrong with, some idiot in Australia claiming that you're all cringe. Like everything has been said to me, just so that you know. On the internet, everything has been said to me. And what's nutty as all out is that I actually took it as some sort of truth, and it was something that I needed to figure out. Come to find out, they just moved on to the next, the next puss, right? They really did. They just moved on to the next person. That's all that happened. And then I stopped. And I stopped because there was something that was choking me out. And what was choking me out was my own inner strength and belief that it's okay that I get on mic. It's okay that I just blurt out, share, don't have it all figured out. Because you know what? This is going to go back into this whole thing. Neither do you. But if for just a moment you could go, you know what? Nobody knows she's going to say something, and I'm going to be able to take that and tuck it away somewhere. And maybe when I'm in my prime, because I'm assuming that you're all children, that when I am in my prime, it might be, one of the 500 things that you've heard in your life, and you'll go, you know what? That lady said something about this that has stayed with me, and now it actually works. It's actually part of my toolkit. Now, that isn't all. There's a lot of practical things, especially when we are talking about this whole, Etsy show. So guess what? Before I even go any further, I better make sure that you guys can hear me because that would be really bad. That would be really bad. So let me go ahead and make sure, make sure, make sure. Oh yeah, we are so good. And so there's this thing called stop the scroll. It is my uh, responsibility. That's a better word. It is my responsibility to make sure that whatever it is that I say in those first, they say 3 seconds now, 3 GD seconds I have to make sure that you stop the scroll. And that's just the beginning of the relationship. That doesn't speak of sense of community. That doesn't speak a sense of, you know, love and affection and caring, which PewDiePie talked about years ago. Because if there is no love, care, and consideration that you have towards me, there's nothing. I'm telling you, I could give you 9,000 puddles, 15 years of StreamYard. I could send you checks and flowers and candies and purse charms, and none of that would matter. None of it would sway you. So there's this thing called persuasive marketing. If you've been over and done anything with AI as far as social marketing, just so that you know what the bent is, unless you ask it to not have that bent, is the bent is to persuade you into something. And that's where all of this kind of um, jumping up and down and the just acting absolutely crazy to get your attention, the jump shots and the challenges and the foul language and um, the disdain for oneself, all these things. This is apparently what we really like. But at some point during the day, you need to be motivated. And that happens by relationships that you have with others outside of your inner core and who you are. We get it from other people. So, as Etsy shop owners, which we will launch in June, very excited, guys. The guru for Etsy shop owners is full of poison for the shop owners. Absolutely full of poison. If there could be more people that are supporting the shop owner, and I mean loving on the shop owner, embracing them, lifting them up, seeing the good that they're doing, see what they're trying to do, and embrace that, elevate it, and help them make modest decisions. This is the only way. Modest, small, modest decisions changes everything over time. But they're asking people basically to just, pull it up, man. Just, I mean, you're never going to go anywhere because Etsy is up to some sort of crap, whatever, like that. Please. Okay, so motivational moment. What I had said earlier was that I hope that this new lineup will help me be able to go back in and re-record. So what will happen was that this is I'll listen back and I'll see if there's anything there that might need to be, it's called exploit it at all, and then I can re-record. So you may have been listening and it could be all over the place, but over time it might be that I can start to weave in these motivational moments because sometimes, I'm on a rant and roll and things just come out that are literally from my soul and they work. Other times, we're in a beautiful location right now. You're going to be hearing all sorts of fun things. The birds are singing and all the windows are open and it's glorious. And I'm not really like I'm already motivated. So I could do the fresh air motivational moment talk. You need to have fresh air in your life. Figure that out first. And then we can start talking about being shop owners on Etsy. Why? Listen, I'm about to drop the show card down and we are going to take a look at the chart and see really what's going on. But let me say hi to my fellows people for just a moment. 379 subscribers over on YouTube. Lost a subscriber yesterday or the day before. Very upset about that. And he has not been replaced. So if you don't mind, head over to YouTube, Beauty Bubble, and that's 2 words, Beauty Bubble, and you'll have the ruby circle with 379 subscribers, and subscribe. While you're over there subscribing and hitting all the buttons, hit the other button, which is the thumbs up button. This is just another way that apparently YouTube's algorithm registers that we are actually live. I do have events where there are no viewers. which is shocking. So what I do is I just try to put something in the chat and get things juiced up. Second up, which is really my home, all of my best people in the whole wide world, not only that I follow, but follow my handle over at X. Thank you, Elon, for just keeping the lights on. And I have been um, being very proactive and doing some different things with my posts, reposting, loving on my own posts, and reposting what under the repost quote so that you guys get a little bit of um, what would it be called? A little bit of a runway so that maybe you can stop by and take a listen. We are getting some excellent numbers though. Now, I'm not a blue check mark, as you can see. I'm not a blue check mark, so I can't go back into those analytics that we all used to have, which is a pity. But, I do get the viewership numbers, and I want to say thank you very much. And of course, I have my own subscribers over there, or followers, 13,200 followers. I follow 1,707 people. I love coming into my feed and my thread. I love seeing what's live on X. I will tell you that we're in the lineup. If you go live on X, there we are. Beauty Bubble is hosting the Noodle Obsessed Etsy Haul, unboxing Noodle Nirvana. I mean, how can we get any more clickbaity than that? Thank you, AI, for coming up with that title. Was not expecting that. Had to work kind of hard to get it to. Then over at Twitch, let me power you up right now so I can see what's going on over there. It's pretty much self-run because I have the trading bot. And we are broadcasting right now. And let me go home and see all the things I'm supposed to be doing. I have action items. I have no idea what's going on with that. And let me go to my channel and make sure that we are live, and we are. And yeah, so Stream Elements is really kind of running the show over there. It has been running the show really way, way long ago. And there's some changes that I could make to that. We did go live yesterday. There were no viewers. That's okay. But I don't know. Like I can add I could even go live on Instagram. Eeks. That sounds scary in itself. So we'll take a look at the daily stock chart, then we'll go over to the gift mode persona of the day, which is going to be which one? The Noodle Obsessed. Noodle Obsessed is our gift mode persona of the day. So let's go ahead and get into this chart, shall we? Take down that and present the chart for your viewing pleasure. Here we go. Let's make sure that I have it. Is it this chart here? Yes, that's the Etsy chart. Ooh, I look at the Etsy chart. I'm like, oh, so much. Don't want to be too sad. We're not going to be too sad, people, because it's doing exactly what I was asking for it to do. Here's your Etsy chart. It's the daily chart. It's the daily chart. The black line is Ruby's 243 EMA. You don't have to know that much about it, really. It's a big, big ass exponential moving average that follows price, and price is either below the 243 or it's above the 243. That's all you have to really know. The 243, when price is below, you're talking about very depressed prices. And you will see actually the volatility that goes in and out as the longs and shorts are battling it out to define and decide exactly where the name is going to go after a certain, it can be a time frame, it can be a certain formation has to conclude, and those sorts of things. So here we are, Etsy. I've been putting out the warning since we started covering the name. This name cannot go below 2019 high. We have big ass problems if that happens. And so I have been putting it out and putting it out. We cannot let that happen. And we actually have had some very positive activity off of the 243. Thank you very much to Ruby. Thank you very much to the legacy traders that follow Ruby to know that for price to be below the 243 is really so difficult for the name to crawl out of. I'm going to zoom, take the chart out a little bit so you guys can see, take it from the daily. I'm going to do a little bit of a condor's pass here and take it out for the month. Don't worry about the 243 in this case because it's fixed to the 60 minutes. So all it is really going to follow price in a way, which is a good thing. Departing from price is another interesting thing that happens in the bigger time frames. So this is a mountain chart of the monthly. This goes way back to 2018. And we're right here. We had a bump, and I'll go into, I'm trying to think of, oh yeah, here it is right here. Here it is right there. So see the line across, that's your price. We know that price was congested here in these trough lows of June. So that would have been 2 years ago. And that's where we are. We have fully retraced the hockey stick of COVID. So scary. The fact that there are more shop owners on that platform, that people are still wanting to go. They still, as a group, as a force of nature, still believe in their heart of hearts that they can go to Etsy and they can feed and fuel their families, creating things that they love for others. They really do believe that, and the stock shows it. So many names, of course, have done this in full retracement and come out of it. Of course, when you've got these doe foot lows here, the thing is that if the shorts begin to take hold, you're looking at full depression levels in which something else is going on with the name, having nothing to do with the gurus are talking about. Something else is going on with the name. It could be the spam attacks, the Timu attacks, and have to call them attacks because it's an assault on the raw on the rawness of what Etsy actually does and provide. They are not policemen, but they need to be. That costs money. They are not in the business of serving the shop owner other than having a site that is stable, that does its job, processes the payment processing, keeps up on you, keeps a very clean landing pages, no navigational problems. You're not asking to shop for grandma and you end up, shopping for a tennis pro, that sort of thing, if you know what I mean. Like the site is clean, it's functional, and there are plenty of employees to work it, except for when you have growth like this and when you have instability of stock price. So there's a lot going on with Etsy, and the shop owner needs to become more wise about the condition of price of the stock for just a little while. You may feel as though, well, I'm already a stock owner because, I'm on this, without me, there wouldn't be an Etsy. Josh Silverman is a very bright person. If you're right, if it wasn't Etsy, it would be something else really smart for the marketplace. So watch out. Know your CEO, know the stock price, listen to the earnings calls, look at the numbers in the investor relations portal, know where you live. Setting fires on where you live, as we all know, is absolutely, well, that's just insanity. Why would you do that? But the guru wants you to do that. And I'm never going to stop talking about the guru that leads you, that is propelled by guerrilla marketing and aggressive marketing tactics in order to sell you other things that have nothing to do with your shop. So if you remember, we were on the daily. Let's go ahead and zippity doo dah and bring it in just a little tight. I call this, it's rather dangerous, but just so that you can kind of see how the stock was motivated today. All right. And So here is price off of the 243 that started April 8th. And I'll have to look and see the very first time I announced on Twitter when I was going to be doing opening up a shop in June. And I'll take a look when I started to really publicly focus in on the Etsy name. So we are very happy. It's okay that this volatility has bobbed and weaved its way out, but I also know that this price up here was a very tender place to be. And man, I'm on it. I'm pretty sure you guys know that I'm on it. And we will keep talking about Etsy in a very positive light, of course, as I can. And I'm learning about the name in a very open, trying to look at both sides. Where are the problems? Are there cracks? The gurus are putting it out there just today that something big is about to happen with Etsy. Uh huh. I hope we're looking for 70. Well, at least here, I'll give you a number 69. That's this is only the hour chart. Yeah, we needed to go over 75. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that you guys were able to see all that. Do, do, do. Yeah, okay, you're good. So that's the chart. See how all the sites are doing, all the socials are doing. Thank you, um, X, you guys. As they say, you guys rock. And thank you to Twitch. You're still doing the deal over there. Heading back over to YouTube and making sure that we're good to go there. And everything's lovely. Yeah, and you can still hear me. That's a lot better than I had been doing an entire show on mute. All right, let's go ahead and take our screen share down. If everybody's heard about what I think about Etsy right now, do you guys have any questions about the Etsy name? Then just make sure that you let me know. Stop the screen and go back to the run of show. All right, so we're going to go into gift mode and the persona of the day, which is the noodles obsessed, the obsessed noodles. See, the problem is that I picked the name yesterday, and that's all I've been doing is trying to figure out what this persona really is and what Etsy wants us to learn about the persona. Some a little bit of backstory, and then I'll open up the. Let me go ahead and show you guys a incognito window of Etsy, the Noodle Obsessed persona. Okay, let's make sure you guys have got that figured out. We're going to add to the stage. Okay. So I have to explain the backstory every time I go live with this because you guys are going to be thinking, is that a store? No, it's not a store. Do you see up here, up at the top left there, gift mode? Let me make this bigger so you guys can see. Do you see where it says gift mode? So gift mode is this new um, language model that Etsy has developed and is using in order to guide the person shopping for a gift as it desires to reign supreme over the gift market. So if you were watching the NFL, they decided that they would buy in and have a commercial, and it was all focused on the gift mode. If you follow CNBC and the other financial interview broadcasts, you will have more than likely heard from Josh Silverman, the CEO of Etsy, describe why they decided to go this route, and once again going into the core purpose of Etsy. So there are 200 plus personas. I finally got a list of 182 of them. 182. And that was in February. There were 200 plus even when he was talking about it in November. So I have to figure out where these other ones are and start maybe work on an Excel sheet or something like that. Because what I aim to do is know every single persona. I want to know it by heart. I want to know what the intention is and how it's driving the gift buyer, right, of which Etsy wants to reign supreme over, is the gift buyer. How in the world are they actually, what's the flow here from getting onto the site and beginning the shopping experience? And of course, how can our shop feed and fuel into that and be seen? This is all pre advertising dollars and all that. So I've been picking these just hit or miss, and this miss is the noodle obsessed persona for the nut who love noodles, for the nut who love noodles of every shape and size. And as you go down the page, it gives you these action groups. So with the noodle obsessed, once again, I am addressing the shop owner now, everybody, okay? Because you must know and recognize these personas so that you can best find yourself inside of, the network, the web, so to say, of this discovery model, this discovery machine, this discovery engine that Etsy has decided to buy into, and buy into it enough that they ran a Super Bowl ad that is focused on gift giving and gift mode. This is their answer to it. So we have to really dig in and understand from all sorts of ways, the way that we select our colors, the way that our descriptions are written, the products that we really are selecting. And even when you are making things by hand, you know that you have choices to make, and making them just from your heart all the time may not be the best decision as a shop owner. You may have to succumb to the trend of the engine. So in this case, we have ramen noodle art prints. Now I want to tell you something about this ramen noodle art prints. This whole action group does not really exist inside of Etsy. Now, ramen art does, but not noodle. This is why maybe I'm having a little bit of fun with this noodly oodly thing. Ramen noodle art prints really does not exist out there on the internet with SEO and so forth. And here are the products that you see. They're all lovely, lovely. They're displayed right. All of the, you know, cushioning around all of the objects is beautiful, and how the pricing is done, so forth. Then there's the ramen mystery boxes. I have not taken this one out to Google to see, but for some reason, I don't remember anyone writing an article. I follow food guys. I don't remember anyone writing a ramen mystery box article, or a store selling, like a grocery store having an end cap of called the ramen mystery boxes. Next one, remember these are action groups. Whimsical ramen bowl sets, and it goes all the way from Peter Rabbit to, Yamaguchi. So, and bowls and chopsticks. This is more relevant, perhaps, and more specific to the noodle obsessed. Remember, you're shopping for someone who has expressed to you, funny story about this too, who has expressed to you that they're noodle obsessed. So, is this a self proclamation that you're noodle obsessed? There's no t shirt that's, that says, I got caught, you know, with my noodle obsession, there's nothing like that. This is completely, in a way, fabricated. It's so fascinating to me. This I really find very cute. The ramen noodle enamel pins. Okay, very, we've all seen any number of these out on the shopping sites. Then it goes into this other action group, which I think is really, it's more the, um, uh, what can I say? Like, the view source actually has this part of the page more associated with action group. I'm kind of waiting to figure out what the sections are up above. I'm sure that in no time flat I'll probably find out. But These action groups are what's the occasion, and there we go. This is a noodle obsessed, expecting mom. You don't know how much I want to go into all of these. A noodle obsessed friend on the mend. I want to sell into that niche. Help me, people. Noodle obsessed skier and the noodle obsessed the golfer. Okay. When you see these and these are all of the one of 200 plus personas. Okay. Obviously, the ones up above are the items. And so we will be reminded that the cover girl here on the right is a gorgeous shop. Actually, I covered that last night. If you want to take a peek at that video, I don't think I've time stamped it, but we did find the shop. And these are all high ticket ramen bowls by this shop owner here on the right hand side. You cannot hover. Do you notice? You can't hover into there, probably for good reason. That shop owner would probably not be able to keep up with the orders. Imagine that. Imagine sitting over at Etsy and you know exactly what product is going to be selling. I just makes me makes me very thrilled that anybody would know that right now today. So there we go. That is the Noodle Obsessed. So the purpose of doing the personas once again from the shop owners is that you have to visit the personas. Visiting them together is really fun because we can study more about the tags, the descriptions of the product, all the things that would make these shops be selected for these carousels. It is really quite an honor when you think about it that, wow, I got on the landing page for the Noodle Obsessed and I am overwhelmed with orders. That would just be the delight of the delights. Okay, so that's what that is. And we're going to go ahead and remove that because the way that the show goes today is that that kind of wraps up the AM show, and the PM show will be much later. I can't tell you even when. And that's when we will cover what Etsy looks like on X and highlight a shop and give them some attention and discover how they're using X to um, alert people about their new launches and so forth. And then we'll get right into the next thumbnail. The next thumbnail creation will be another persona. We can pick that persona right now, maybe. Maybe that's what you guys want to do. Let's do that. I'm going to go over to gift mode. And I think we're still sharing, right? Are we still sharing? No, we're not still sharing. Let's share. Add to the stage and take that down. All right. This is the incognito window, and you can see it's all about Mother's Day. The whole world is about Mother's Day. And gift mode makes gifting extra easy, extra special gifts for anyone, a gift for every kind of mom. And shop for Mother's Day. It's 4 weeks away. I'm going to go into gift mode, and these will now be in the Get Inspired in alphabetical order. So let's go through and figure out. I would love to do the bird watcher. Anybody into the bird watcher? Have I done a bee yet? Have I done a bee? Did art admirer? We have not done a bee. Let's do bird watcher. Bird watcher. That is going to be our next persona. The birdwatcher spotted gifts for the modern day birder. Cannot wait to find this shop. It's bright lemony yellow, the lavender. We will make sure that we've got those hex codes when we're building our thumbnail and that my AI gets the birdwatcher so we can have the best, most excellent title for our event. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. That's going to be what it is that we're going to do. It's the next persona. Next gift mode persona is the bird watcher. And I'm going to add the banner and go here, and that's what it's going to be. And maybe I'll grab the lemony yellow now. Why don't I do that so I can change the banner so it's prettier? Or maybe, you know what, I'm going to do the lavender. Why not? Do the lavender. We haven't done lavender too much. I'm sure the thumbnails will be delighted to see that. And we'll hide that to put it on here. And that is the lavender color. And that's what we will be doing this evening. Oh, I didn't change the color. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Did not change the color. Need to do that up here. There we go on there. So that should be fun. The Birdwatcher Etsy's picks for the Birdwatcher gifts. We'll find and locate the cover girl. That's the product that's on the upper right-hand side, and give that store a massive amount of attention. Etsy chose that store. That's where we want to go with our shop. That's how we need to be thinking when we are over at Etsy. How do we elevate, engage, and I have to find another E word, become the most excellent shop on Etsy that we can possibly be. This is pre-advertising dollars, okay? Pre-advertising dollars. We are just a seller. We have a product that we love. Other people have loved on it too, and we are ready to share it with the world. And why not be happy about that and interested where we can, you know, get together and not feel like some kind of a guru slime ball. Sorry, guys. Sorry, slime balls. But where we can just wake up and be happy that we have a shop on Etsy, and this is a good day for us. Like, come on. That's what I want to do with my shop. We open June 25th. June 25th, 2024. Hazelcroft Littles will be launching on Etsy. So I'm going to be in it with all of the other shop owners, and I want to be able to share not only for the shareholders and people that are interested in knowing about live selling and all of that. I do believe that they will need to be presenting the shops live. So, in case you guys know, I love on StreamYard. I would absolutely love to see that integration happen. I do think that it would have to be the next big move. We're talking about big pivot move, is to allow these shops to go live. And if we don't know the first thing about it, we're going to be afraid it's going to take too long. We're going to lose out on all that fun. And remember, I'm doing this faceless. I'll be able to share my shop completely from that way so that you can sell anywhere in the world. If you're relying on a studio and studio lights and the most perfect mic and the most perfect this and all of this other stuff, you will make excuses as to why you're not going live, even if the money is right there for you. So this is all going to be faceless and joy filled, and using our photographs and our voice and all of the things that we have that is turnkey anywhere in the world. You could be representing your shop. Imagine that. Anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're up against. So that's where kind of I'm thinking. I hope that makes a lot of sense to everybody. So let's make sure that we know how to wind down the show here. I will go ahead and remove that from that, and I will bring myself back up so you guys can hear and see the voice bubble go back and forth there. And we will put the reels in motion. They are not on a loop. And I believe I'm going to move one to another. You're hearing, I think the crazies one needs to be the first one that I run, I think. And then the chart, that sounds too scary. I'm going to put the chart somewhere in the middle, and we'll try to run it like that. And you guys tell me what you like. Let me go ahead and get rid of some of these things. Stop sharing altogether. And we are good on taking one more look around our socials. I think Twitter's holding us down, actually, guys. Thank you. Getting the numbers over there, so I do appreciate that. Okay. Once I start the countdown clock, you guys are going to be listening to the reels that have been on deck that I've been working on. And then after that, the show will just kind of gently close down. Let me say first off, thank you so much. The fact that I am able to come here every day and lift my voice, and I know that that's the muscle that I deserve to have. I deserve to work out the nerves, work out the doubt, work out all of that really oh, it's been such an agitation for me because there are people that are wonderful broadcasters and they deserve every accolade. They're beautiful people. They know they have so much talent in them. And I've often let them know I understand how difficult this is. And yet I'm so proud that they're able to do it. And I'm very respectful to the fact that they are able to do it. For the entertainers out there, for all of the people and all the forums that I've been in that have been able to find a way to make people laugh, make it funny. Don't make it about women of a certain age. Don't do that because that doesn't really work over time. Because see, what's happened is that surely I was older then, but now you've caught up because there's a certain time in your life where you're not getting any older than you were if you didn't grow out of being 8 years old. So let's treat each other kindly. We should obviously be honest and agitated and be direct. And if we have to scream and yell, that's what we're going to do to be heard. And it's shameful that we just don't understand that we're just all trying to figure one another out. And if you stay with it, which is what you should do, then you can have these intense communities that are represented by a lot of people. They're not just one voice and then it ends there. And it's hard. It's really hard. The people that do it at X and hold down those Twitter spaces and they're able to just, I mean, their word soup is just rich over there. They have the memory, they have the stories, they have the tact. They come from professional backgrounds, they're academics. It's just a marvel to listen to the really great space hosts, spaces hosts over on Twitter. And I do believe that all of us have a voice and that all of us deserve to at least hear it for ourselves. Because I'm telling you, the lost voices are worse than the lost boys, the lost voices of which there are thousands and thousands every moment right here, right now, where there is someone that needs to say something, not to be heard as to be famous, but to have fame in their heart for something that they believed in. We shouldn't shut people down like that. We shouldn't troll people so much that they've come to the end and their throat chakra has gone to absolute dust and ruin. And it does, it takes a lot of practice. It takes practice and bravery and willingness and the few little things that I've learned, my little run of show so I can stay on track and just keep going with it and moving with it and building that muscle so that maybe something else, once that's developed, then it can meet up with the things that I really feel like I want to share and have it be on record to validate, that I was here, just like you. There's not one person that's walking around that is saying, I don't give an F if anybody cares if I was here or not. We all care. We all want to be here. And we want to all have some sort of reason and purpose because it feels good and it is good. So let's keep up with that. I will talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye now. Hello, my crazies. How is everybody doing? Let's give ourselves a thumbs up, everyone. And welcome back, YouTube. Crazy. Never thought I would do it. But this is so worth it. Truly is. It is so well worth it for me to come back on and share what I'm learning and share about what I am doing these days. So let me clean up my window a little bit and welcome you to Hazelcroft Littles on Etsy with Beauty Bubble. Or it'll be something like that. I don't know exactly. And today we're going to walk through a new feature over at StreamYard. And, they just want to comment about your eyebrows or something. And it just, your whole day just go, it just becomes like this, what would, in my world, what's called a flaccid reality. You're just like, you got to be kidding me. I'm on top of the world right now. I am so there with it for me. And what happens, that one badass in your life, and how much they don't care, and how you have to make it be where you don't care either. So that was yesterday. Today, it's more, I thought that we would make sure that this goes beyond having a task list or a bullet list of all the things that we have to do. But it has to do with making sure that you stay on it for you. This is not a great morning to have. And I do believe that a CEO that comes from some sort of inner strength and experience in their life deserves at least acknowledgement and understanding. This is how I feel about it. So that's the reality here. This is, no matter what your shop is doing today, being that it is a publicly traded company, you want the stock to be healthy. You want to be able to see this trough of horror figure its way out. Maybe it does have to go to these superior lows that is sub 40 before we see a flattening and then a rise back up. You do not want to see this stock return to pre-pandemic levels that are sub $10. You do not want that to happen. You can have any one little thing come in your way of taking that next step. It is so odd, especially for creatives, that I know that you thought in the back of your mind, wow, what if this was to really work for me? How different my life would be if this was really to manifest itself into something that the CEO spoke of many years ago. And that is being able to earn an income to feed and fuel your family. And the amount of joy that comes out of that from the creative, that they are actually able to do that as if it's some sort of a surprise. it's very hard to expect that anyone else but you is the creator, the creative in the partnership. So, seeing this up against a lunar event of which we did not create, and we will never be that magnificent, that the creative might need to think always that you do not have to be the creator of everything. The color, the branding, the promotion, the words on the page, and the full intention, the face of the actual, embodiment